Hey, good Wednesday morning, everybody. It's January the 11th. I'm Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. It is the middle of the week, and we're going to begin to see a transition into some rainy weather. Not quite so much today, but eventually we're going to find our rain chances going up this morning. A lot of cloud cover as we get the day started, and there's a little bit of light rain. We expected some sprinkles, and for the most part today, that's what we're going to see. I think here in southern Kentucky, right along that warm front. This is a warm front that's actually going to begin to kind of fall apart, but it is bringing us warmer air. Yesterday, it warmed us up to 58 for a high temperature. That was 12 degrees above the average of 46. And it's going to get even warmer today. I think low 60s is certainly doable with more of a south wind and a breeze at times, but it's going to be a warmer breeze. And along that boundary, we're going to find, as you see there, some sprinkles, maybe a brief shower as we get on into the afternoon. But the really crux of the rain, the more organized rain and even some thunderstorms, is going to come overnight tonight and into the early morning hours tomorrow. But as you see right now, there's just not a whole lot going on. In fact, a lot of that you're seeing on the radar screen may not even be reaching the ground just yet because it's still very dry here at the surface. That one warm front comes through and just kind of warms us up today a little bit more, but there's a second warm front that's going to come in the morning, and that's the one ahead of a cold front that is going to bring us the showers and the thunderstorms, and maybe even some strong to severe storms, which I'll break down for you here in just a minute. But first, as we always do, we go to the blender. This is where we take in all the models and put them in a blender, and then this is what it spits out for the next 10 days. You see that we are going into the low 60s today, and only very little movement from today's high to tonight's low, which will be in the mid and upper 50s. So only a few degrees difference from the high today to the low tonight because of that secondary warm front that's going to come in overnight and produce some of the showers by early tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow will be warm and breezy, looking to reach the mid 60s before temperatures start to fall. As the cold front comes in, the temperatures will begin to fall during the afternoon, excuse me, through the 50s and then into the 40s, then into the 30s. Well, it doesn't go any colder than that, but it's a big change. We go from mid 60s tomorrow to only near 40 on Friday. And Friday morning, yes, now there's a little more confidence that somebody may see some brief snow showers, possibly even a dusting on the grassy areas. But you got to keep in mind, don't get too excited. Roadway surfaces, most even ground temperatures are way too warm for any of this to be a big deal, at least not here in southern Kentucky. But it is a significant change, but a temporary one, because as you see after that, once we get into Saturday, the rest of the weekend, and into next week, we're going to do another steady climb right back into the 50s and 60s. And it looks like we're mostly going to stay there for a few days. So, uh, a shot of colder air this weekend, well, by Friday morning, and then we start to warm back up again. Some storms, and then maybe even a little bit of snow, just to throw it in there. It is winter after all, you know. Don't forget that. Here's a look at current temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet Network from WKU. You can see the cooler temperatures east, and then you see some 30s and 40s in the central bluegrass, and then everybody else west is upper 40s to low to even mid 50s to the west. That's that warm front that's laying right across, kind of like this, splitting Kentucky into the colder side and the warmer side. But as that warm front Goes a little further north, it's actually going to kind of just fall apart, dissipate, waiting on the main warm front, followed by the cold front. That's going to happen tomorrow. To bring us the showers and the thunderstorms by this time tomorrow morning, I think, is when we're really going to see some activity going on. And as I said, some of those storms could be a little on the hefty side. All right, here's a look at predicted temperatures over the next 24 hours, starting in the milder mid to upper 40s, even a few 50s showing up as I showed you back to the west. As we go through the day, southerly breezes going to kick us up into the low 60s. I would say even some of you southern border counties with Tennessee could see, you know, 63, 64, 65. I know Nashville will probably hit 65 or better. And then to the north of that disintegrating warm front, upper 50s to near 60, more for E-Town, Radcliffe, Louisville, in that direction. But everybody gets mild today. And then here's that just little bit of a fall off in temperature tonight. Not much movement from predicted low 60s to upper 50s. It's because of the second warm front that's coming in. This one's going to hold together. This one will elevate some thunderstorm activity overnight. And in that warm sector, just before the cold front comes through, we're going to get those showers and thunderstorms moving in overnight tonight and into early Thursday. And then Thursday, we go back into the low 60s, possibly, I'm going to say mid 60s. It's going to be closer to 65 than 62, what the blender is showing here. But you can see evidence of the cold front back to the west. Notice Evansville, Paducah, Cape Girardeau, Boot Hill, Missouri, southern Illinois. They start to fall off in temperature into the 40s late morning to midday, while we're still in the 60s tomorrow, but then we'll start to fall off during the afternoon hours. And once that front comes through late tomorrow afternoon and evening, here's what happens to our temperatures. This is Thursday night into Friday morning, right close to freezing. And with any leftover moisture, eh, maybe some snow showers, maybe some flurries, maybe a brief dusting. For some, we'll just have to see how much moisture is left once that cold front and the colder air comes through. But I think it's doable. I think we'll get a little something out of that. If for those of you that want to see a little bit of snow, I think that's what you're going to get, just a little bit of snow. All right, break down the future radar, and I'll show you what to expect here as we go through time. So here's right now, and those little bitty sprinkles, if anything, that's reaching the ground right now, there's just not much out there. There's not a lot of moisture to work with just yet. But once we get going through the morning, yes, I do think we're going to begin to see a little bit more in the way of moisture coming on through. As you can see here, we start to get these little pockets of maybe some brief showers as we get into the afternoon, evening. Just not a lot today. If you're still needing to do something outdoors, it's not going to rain that much today. It's going to be light, very scattered, as you see. By late afternoon into this evening, just not much going on. There could be a few sprinkles on your windshield. That's about it. It is overnight tonight and into early Thursday morning when we begin to see that second warm front coming in with the stronger winds from the southwest, taking over, shooting our temperatures into the mid 60s. And then we begin to see the bulk and that low pressure system coming in as well, coming right across the area. That's where the bulk of the rain and thunderstorms, see it right there? If there's the strength of it, 1004 millibars. It's not a very strong low, but it's going to come right through parts of western and south central Kentucky. And because of that, most of the rain and thunderstorm activity will be elevated at first. And by that, I mean these will be thunderstorms that get lifted into the atmosphere and begin to rain out we could get some fairly decent rainfall overnight, some rumbles of thunder as we go through time. Early Thursday morning, with the system coming on through, the cold front still back to the west. But once we get that colder air in here, we will then see a transition once we get into Thursday night and Friday morning. But here are the thunderstorms. Some of these, as you notice here, the low deepens just a little bit from 1004 to 1002 millibars. So it is going to strengthen. In fact, this low is going to travel up into New England. I talked about this yesterday, how it's going to strengthen and become a very powerful system for the New England states over the next couple of days. Not for us, okay? For us, showers, gusty thunderstorms, maybe a few reaching severe limits, because it's going to be one of those situations where we might even see, remember the last time, what was it, January 3rd, a few days ago? Yeah, 8 days ago, when we had those tornado warnings and then there were no tornadoes. This could be one of those situations where early tomorrow morning, maybe even before you get up, we could have strong thunderstorms that show a little bit of spin, but then that spin doesn't reach the ground, or at least we hope not. We can't say completely no concerns of tornadoes. We cannot say that because there's always that little bit of possibility. We're talking a 2% chance. I know that doesn't sound like much, but sometimes that's all it takes in this kind of atmosphere. There's just enough dew point gradient. Dew points will be approaching 60, which is really uh, too much for the beginning of January. With this kind of system coming in, we're going to have available moisture, winds with some shear, not a lot, but just enough. And I know the sun is not going to be out because this is going to be during the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning, but there will be enough dynamic there, if you will, to maybe produce a strong to severe storm. So keep your weather radios on before you go to bed tonight. Make sure they're on and early tomorrow morning. Of course, I'll be up watching this stuff and we'll go live if I need to. But by mid morning or so tomorrow, the front comes on through. There you see the 540 line. Those of you that know what I'm talking about, that's the colder air coming in. And then by late afternoon and evening, I do think, and the model will show here, there's enough leftover moisture for tomorrow night into early Friday. Right there, you saw it. Maybe some scattered snow showers or flurries. I don't foresee us having any kind of issues. You see it there. Just scattered stuff, just kind of spitting out whatever leftover moisture is available. But it will be cold enough for maybe somebody getting a dusting on the grassy areas, maybe on your vehicles. But as far as roadway impacts and things like that, I don't really foresee any problems because we're just going to barely touch the freezing mark and then we're going to warm back up. So there won't be enough time for this to get established enough to, cause some big problems. At least I hope not. So we're going to have all kinds of weather in the next 24 to 36 hours. Speaking of the severe weather threat, here it is. We're all under, pretty much the entire state of Kentucky, under a level 1 marginal risk. And that's for late tonight, early tomorrow morning. I'm talking after midnight tonight. And during the drive time, around this time tomorrow morning, there will be active thunderstorms going on. Hopefully, we're just going to have to deal with gusty thunderstorms or gusty storms and not severe thunderstorms. The greater threat for severe weather, I'll scroll down and show you, it's around the Chattanooga area down to Atlanta, down to Birmingham, slight level 2 risk there. But for us, level 1, still enough to say, turn on your weather radios, keep it on all night, and just in case you need to be awakened because of a warning, then you'll be ready. You'll know what's happening. Okay, on to the maps. And here we go. This is the first warm front over us now, the second warm front with the cold front coming in. Now, this warm front is going to really just disintegrate, but it will squeeze out just a little bit of light rain and sprinkles as it passes. Then we're just kind of waiting on the second warm front to really start to ramp things up a little bit more. See that front disintegrates. Here it comes. Deepening low. Starts out about 1,004. Then it's going to deepen a little bit more as it comes across Kentucky, but not enough to cause big issues. It is going to strengthen, and I'll show you that as it travels through the Ohio Valley, River Valley, and then on up into the New England states for the beginning of the weekend. So here's tonight with some showers early tomorrow morning, thunderstorms lifting ahead of that front. The low begins to deepen a little bit more. There's the cold front that's going to drag through the area. Back behind it, the colder air taking over and changing rain over to snow. Okay. So here we go into Thursday morning. Thursday midday, showers, thunderstorms as the low passes by, some briefly heavy rain, gusty winds, and as I mentioned, the possibility of some severe weather. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it's going to be kind of a touch and go situation. And it's going to be quick, though. It's not going to linger. Here we go into Thursday afternoon, Thursday night. Still some showers and thunderstorms. Look how that low deepens now. 997. Remember when it was back here, it was 1,006 or 1,004. Then it goes deeper, deeper, and then it really starts to look. This thing is going to bottom out. It's going to blow out and bring the New England states some big time rain. And then where it's colder, of course, some big time snow. Big problems for the Northeast as we get into Friday. So here's tomorrow night, Friday morning. Yeah, there's our little chance of snow on the backside of this. Another piece of energy swings down with the gusty winds and the colder air, just barely cold enough for snow. Brief, not a big snow, not for us anyway. Um, Friday afternoon into Saturday, all of that moves up to the northeast. Low continues to wreak havoc up there. Rain at first, and then it all changes to snow for Pennsylvania, New York State, and beyond. High pressure takes over for us. We begin to clear out on Saturday. Sunday looks good as well, but then here comes another system for Monday out of the plains. Warm up again, followed by rain, followed by thunderstorms. And then into Tuesday, we'll see showers as that next front approaches. So we've got a couple of chances here to get some rain. Whoops. Did you not see any of that? I'll be doggone. I am so sorry. I'm not going to go through it again, but I'll just quickly show you again what's coming through. There it is, the fronts tonight. Showers, thunderstorms gone by Friday afternoon, and there's the snow coming through. And then by Saturday, Sunday, it's gone. And here comes the next system on Monday and Tuesday. Doggone it. I am so sorry. I thought I had that turned on. Oh, well. Hey, listen, sometimes, and some of you are right here in the same boat with me. If it wasn't written on my pillbox, I wouldn't know what day it is. And it says it here at the bottom, Wednesday, January. Okay. And remember the first day I didn't change the 2022 to 2023. Listen, it just happens. Okay. You just got to laugh with it and move on. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I'm headed to Sam 100.7. By the way, I have to say this very quickly. We got some numbers in yesterday, and all I got to say is thank you for making us number one in key demographics. Sam is number one. My morning show is number one. And this is ratings. I'm going to try not to. Thank you. Just And all the glory goes to God, really. And thanks to you. Wow. That's all I can say. I was having dinner with Sheila. We were out having dinner and it came across my phone, and I was just like, God is blessing. And I thank you for being a part of that blessing, because without you, and without you being, you know, a listener and trusting in me and enjoying the music and having as much, hopefully as much fun as I do doing this and doing the radio station at Sam, we wouldn't have numbers like that. So I honestly and truly thank you for that. God bless you. And I'll see you on the radio. Number one. I don't want to shout it too loud. I don't want to, well, I do, but I'm not going to. I don't want to look like, hey, look at me. Then I'd be going against everything that I talk about all the time about, hey, don't be a glory hog. I'm just thankful, really grateful and thankful to all of you. So I'll see you on the radio. You on the radio, 6 a.m. to 10, Sam 100.7. Really, God bless you.